Hi guys, this is Graham from Geek Ireland, and I know that you really want to listen to Speaking Geek. Who doesn't? But we have to bring you something. We have to bring you this lovely, lovely little ad for our sponsors. Yeah, we've got sponsors. That's right. We're big. We're big adults here now. And now to tell you more about just our fantastic new sponsors is Tom.
I've just signed up and it's great. So much geek-related gear each month. And for $27, you can get great things like t-shirts, figurines, and loads more. So check out our Geek Ireland link to Loot Crate and sign up.
So there it is. You can sign up to Loot Crate, and since we're such giving people here at Geek Ireland, I would like to tell you about our little link to it. It's lootcrate.com/Geek Ireland, and if you put in the code SAVE3, you can get a nice little discount courtesy of ourselves. Thanks so much for listening, and now you can get to your Speaking Geek. So, Lawrence, how are you, man? How are things?
Oh, things are going really good, man. Thank you. I've just had a nice bit of a Christmas, and now just kind of gearing up for the 2015 junket, as it were. Just going around all the different conventions and stuff, as well as important projects coming up in the abridged world. So can't say too much, but yeah, it's all starting to kick off here.
So what's it? I mean, just looking at your resume and your biography, Lawrence, did you always want to be a voice actor? Because I know you've always wanted to be in media, but has voice acting kind of just, was it a happy accident?
Well, I always liked having fun with voices and whatnot, and I was always hang on, I'll start that again.
It's no problem.
I don't know, really. I've just always been enamored with doing funny voices ever since I was a kid and had a dictaphone and just made stupid cassette tape recordings and whatnot. So I was always fascinated with doing voices at a young age, and then when I discovered the internet properly, I found that there were boards for such things. That I was just overjoyed. So, it was just happenstance, really. Just the opportunity came along and I just leapt on it and just joined the board. I inquired about how to voice act. I got in contact with with Kira Buckland at the time. She was known as she's known as Rena Chan online, and she did this animation online called Bonus Stage, which I really liked. And I emailed her and asked her how to voice act, and she pointed me towards the Voice Acting Alliance, and the rest is history, really.
Yeah,
I owe quite a lot to her.
And how because I was looking through, because I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, but I realised going into this interview, I actually know really nothing about maybe the whole lot of you. I didn't realise that, you're British, and sure, like Lana Pater he's American. No, he's British as well, isn't he?
No, I'll have to tell him that, but Lanny Pator is actually American, as is Kaiser Neko.
Yeah.
And the vast majority of the Team 4-Star members, Antfish and Takahata are Canadian, and Little Karibo is British as well.
How did that happen? How did all of you how did that actually come together? Like, was there a convention? I'm guessing. What was it?
Well, quite simple, really. We were just all doing abridged projects, and we were all mutual fans of each other's work. We all liked each other's work, and we just really started talking and just saying, yeah, I really like your stuff. Do you want to work on stuff? Yeah, sure. So it was really simple back in 2007. We just said, I like your work. Let's work together. Okay. And we just started to get to know each other over Skype, and it just really kind of went from there, really. So it was just really nothing. I mean, our first convention that we met up was 2 years after we actually first met all properly, and that was pretty surreal.
I can imagine. And how is it now? Like, you're onto your 48th episode. Is the next one coming out?
It'll be 47.
Oh, 47. And how does it feel now? You're getting to some really heavy stuff, like the Cell Saga is in full swing now.
Yeah.
And how does it feel?
I think we realised at the end of 46 that we're now halfway through the actual anime of DBZ.
Oh.
So we've now gone into the second half in terms of original episodes. There are 291 in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And where it ends at around 45, 46 is the halfway point. So we have now abridged half of DBZ. So we've now basically done that in 46 episodes. So we could get the whole series done in under 100.
You could actually. You could totally beat Kai.
Yeah, totally.
Especially with those Kai episodes, which are brilliant.
Yeah, that it just started as a thing. Really, we were only going to make that as a one-off, but then so much demand for an episode 2, and there probably will be an episode 3 based on demand. But
I'd say there'll be a lot of demand for DBZ Kai Abridged. It's such a great little idea because it really does. It condenses down everything. And how do you hand pick what stays and what goes? Like how you turned the Garlic Junior saga into basically the Marin saga.
Well, really, I'm not the most qualified person to talk about that because I'm not one of the writers on the show. But we all have a consensus, really, that really the Garlic Junior thing is just it's filler material.
Yeah, epitome.
So it's just filler material. But the animators to catch up between Trunks and the Frieza saga. So they just thought, let's stick Garlic Jr. in and make him canon. Oh, great. So now the villain from movie 1 somehow comes back and actually kicks everyone's ass.
Yeah.
So that's a little weird.
Because he got stronger somehow in
the Makio Star. Lo and behold, that channels his energy. Yeah, but the thing is, though, we just thought, no. The whole Marin thing was more entertaining, really.
Yeah.
It had more consequence, really.
Yeah, especially when you add the fact that you have made Krillin just even more, I don't know, like deep, but also even more pitiful. So it's even funnier to watch.
Aww.
Well, it's just like, I mean, like if you still think about it, he is the strongest human.
He is the strongest human,
but that's never brought up.
No, I mean, nobody really realizes that, It's like he's way stronger than Yamcha.
Yeah.
And we're not sure. I mean Tien is humanoid, but he's still not the strongest.
But he does take on Cell at that one point when Cell goes second form.
Yeah,
he actually almost kills him.
He does an admirable job of holding back, but that's all he can do. He can't really take it to Cell, but he can hold him back and not die.
So you've been to Dublin a fair few times. What's it like? What's it like having fans? Because I went onto your page, your biography, and there's nothing really saying, "Oh, I'm this internet personality." You're very much a kind of Joe Blogs guy who just wants to get down, do his work. So how does it feel coming into like a convention and people just kind of screaming your name?
Well, really, it's just I tend to keep my professional stuff separate from my convention life, because in the field that I work in, which is post-production and TV and media and stuff, people don't necessarily understand what I do. I mean, now that YouTube's slowly becoming more and more relevant in today's society, especially in the media world, having all this credentials is actually suddenly becoming really lucrative. But really, whenever I go to conventions, I always embrace the journey, and I always kind of prepare myself ready for the convention life, and just realize that I always make sure I always sleep well. I always make sure I get decent sleep, and I always make sure I just keep myself energized. And I suppose really it depends on if I'm coming back to that convention for the nth time.
Yeah.
Like with the KumaCon, this will be my 5th time, and I've been there to all the KumaCons that have been done. So I feel really at home there. So really, this is just coming home.
Yeah.
And this will be fine. But if it's a new convention, it's a little bit, into the unknown, really. I mean, I know that there'll be people, that are anime fans and all that, but it's always just really depends on where you go. But it's always interesting to see new people and new environments.
And what was it like after the first season, we'll say, of DBZ Abridged? What was it like going to a convention? First being a fan, and then the kind of popularity of Abridged had sunk in. What was it very palpable?
Well, around that time was YomaCon 2009. That was our first ever convention that we were invited to. And actually, it was quite a tumultuous time because our YouTube account got taken down.
Oh.
Yeah, it got taken down not too long after the first season of... not too long after we finished the first season. So that's why at the end of 2009, early 2010, we had a bit of a hiatus because we didn't know, we were trying to figure out what to do, and then eventually we got our account back, and we just carried on from there really. So we managed to get it back. So we were a little bit despondent, but the whole thing about going to a convention and we being flown out there for the sole purpose of being guests and actually talking to fans really energized us, and it was just surreal. We had no idea we would get this, and so quickly too. I mean, we weren't going into doing this to try and get popular. We just did this because we all liked each other's work and wanted to collaborate with each other. So, it was it wasn't really anything,
egotistical.
No.
Yeah.
We all had our own series, which had its followings at the time. So we weren't trying to be more popular. We just wanted to do an abridged series of something we all mutually loved and wanted to tear to pieces. Well, really, but...
and bring it back up again.
Yeah, something that we really wanted to do. And since Lanny and Vegeta3986 and I were working on the movies, the first two movies, 2007 and 8, it was kind of almost like a small transitional thing. So we kind of went from there. So the whole convention thing, we had no idea that it would get like this, and we didn't expect it. So we just enjoy it every single time.
And you say in your biography, that media's been in your family for generations, really. How did your dad? How did your parents find you going into this career? Did they understand? What you wanted, what you have kind of become in a certain community. Like, how have they found it? Have they wrapped their heads around it?
Well, I'll say that they weren't obstructive, that's for sure, because it wasn't like I was giving up my entire life to do abridging. This was like a little hobby of mine, but unfortunately, editing is my hobby and my job. So, I'm able to do that and abridge at the same time, as well as doing anything creative in terms of making videos, because they both link together and they both help each other. Yeah. So I'm always grateful for that. And really, in terms of my parents, they were a bit worried because they didn't know about all the legal stuff and stuff. Yeah. But now it's a parody; it's all fine, really. Yeah. And I think they find it exciting, the fact that I get to travel all over the world and be invited to all these things. And I think there was a point when my dad saw a clip of me at an abridged panel at HoloCon 2012 in America.
Oh, very nice.
And he saw me being applauded for a clip I did in front of 2,000 people, and I think he commented, and it was like at that point he realised, hang on a minute, this is becoming real. As in, there is a real buzz about what my son does, and ever since then he's always been really proud of what I've done and how I've managed to achieve it. So now that they are supportive of what I do, but I do continue to have like professional credentials and work at real professional places. But you never know, Team 4-Star, we're always expanding and developing new things, so that could hopefully become my full-time job.
Yeah, and the credentials you have are fantastic. How, you say in your thing that your dad was part of the Norwegian army, I believe?
No, well, he did a project for the Norwegian army at the time, but it was just like doing some video for them.
Okay.
And he went up with them for Norway for a few days and did some footage with them when they were doing some training and testing out some new material and clothing. It was Gore-Tex. So Gore-Tex was military grade, and now it's pretty much in everything.
It's everywhere.
So, yeah, exactly. So it was when it was being tested out by the military, and the Norwegian army was doing jobs like that. So he went up there, and that's kind of where it started, and then,
That's a nice little claim to fame, saying he was up there at the very beginning of Gore-Tex.
Exactly.
And so, you've done so much. I mean, there's been so many abridged series that you yourself have been a part of, and the rest of the team. Do you have any kind of aspirations to maybe try any other animes that maybe have recently come out, like maybe, I don't know, Sword Art Online, Kill la Kill, or do you think you'll just kind of hunker down and just get through Dragon Ball Z, because it is, after all, such a huge journey?
Well, really, I think it's just a case of that this time with Team 4-Star, that we focus on either creating own original projects or come up with, just carry on with Dragon Ball, really. I don't think we really have time at this point to make more abridged series. I mean, sadly, the whole Attack on Titan abridged thing didn't work out.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about bringing that up. How bad was that? Like,
it was a bit of a kick in the teeth, really, but it was a risk. We knew it was a risk because it was so new at the time.
Yeah.
And, we didn't really want to get into trouble about that. So sadly, we had to put it on indefinite hiatus. I mean, it's not likely that it's going to return, sadly.
Yeah. Because I do know, like, I mean, that became very popular very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, I think, everyone is open to satire. It's just like, I was shown my girlfriend, she watches Abridged, I introduced her to it, and she'd never seen Dragon Ball Z. So after seeing about 2 seasons of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I showed her an episode of Goku and Vegeta putting on the Potara earrings to fight Boo. And the fight literally took 2 minutes of them arguing over putting on the earrings and Boo flying at them. It was 2 minutes. Just like, we'd be halfway through an episode by now. They'd have the earrings on if this is abridged.
There'd be a little bit of bickering.
There'd be a little bit of bickering, but you would have at least, And she's just like, is this really how long it is? I was like, yeah. And it's like, wow, they really know how to cut down on all of the screaming.
Well, I mean, the thing is with abridging, the average ratio is that we usually stick about 2 or maybe 3 main episodes per abridged episode.
Oh, okay.
That seems to be the ratio of what we do. So, I mean, obviously, by the time we get to the Boo saga, there is a lot more filler.
There is.
That probably will increase to probably 3 to 4, depending.
And I saw they're actually bringing up the Boo saga. Lana Pager is credited as Goten. Has Goten been in Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
No, I mean you really can't pay attention to that cast list, really.
Yeah, I was just surprised.
The cast list really is so old, and it's not really. Is this the one on the YouTube channel?
No, it's on. I think it's I don't know what it was created by someone. It's not Wikipedia, because Wikipedia has nothing, but it's something else, and it had a full cast list. Like, you were Master Roshi for the first half of DBZ Abridged, and then someone else took over. I think it was.
He did.
Yeah, I think he took over as Master Roshi from now on. But no, I can't remember for the life of me what page it was.
I think it will probably have been a very, very old, out-of-date cast list. So we haven't even considered anything to what we would do for Goten, or even Kid Trunks. So there's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah, won't even get you started on Gotenks.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, so people keep asking, are you going to abridge Battle of Gods? And it's like, well, no, we can't, because
it's too fresh.
No, it's not that. It's just, well, it's partly that, but it's also because, there's a lot of stuff and jokes that we don't know, and we haven't cast people, so there's still lots of stuff that we don't know about how we would go about doing it, so...
And there's still so much material, like, to be fair, there's still tons. There's all the Broly movies, for God's sake.
Exactly, we haven't even done Broly yet, so, so really, it's just like, keep your hair on.
And so, also, I was looking up, you've also worked with Doug Walker, that guy with the glasses. You even had your own channel. What was, how did that even come up? Because, I mean, he's all the way in Chicago.
Well, the whole affiliation with Channel Awesome really just happened when Team 4-Star decided to be affiliates with them back in 2009.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had DBZ Abridged on there for a little period, And Lanny and I also made some shows for them. Lanny then pulled out because he obviously wanted to focus more on the bridging. And I just carried on because I didn't have the commitments of editing anything for Team 4-Star or doing or writing for it. So I had no obligations. I did have Naruto Abridged at the time, but I also had made basically a voice acting tutorial thing called MasakoX.
Yes.
And then I did Anafile the year after. So really, it's just I was the one to sustain the Team 4-Star affiliation, and that's how I'm still. That's how I came to be on there.
And what was it like working with Doug? Did you have much interaction with the Channel Awesome team, or was it kind of you just put on your work and that was it?
Kind of, yes, but I have met Doug a few times, and he is a really nice chap, and I've met him at conventions and whatnot. And I am friends with quite a few of the producers on That Guy with Glasses and Channel Awesome, and I've got to know them quite well, especially the British contingent. And I always but quite a few of them actually come to Youmacon and some of the other conventions like Linkara and Doug and Angry Joe. So we kind of had those people, so we got to know them quite well.
And just how have you found all the kind of stuff that you've gotten to do over the past couple of years? Like where's the most exotic place you've actually gotten to travel now because of Dragon Ball Z Abridged? Have you gotten to travel to Japan yet?
I really don't think that Japanese audiences will understand abridged thing. Although, having said that, I have seen Japanese subtitled Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged episodes, so it's kind of gone full circle. But I mean, I'd love to go to Japan just as a tourist. Really, I think quite a lot of us would. But I suppose the most exotic place I've been is Finland.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I went to Finland. I've been to Finland twice for conventions, same one. And I'm always impressed with the level that there's no language barrier there at all. Everyone there perfectly understands my English, and I even did my bad fan fiction panel there, and I got a full room. So there wasn't a question of them not understanding what I was saying. And there was nerves because I had the only English panels at the entire convention. So that's probably the most exotic place I've been. Most of the time it tends to be English-speaking countries, Ireland, UK, Canada a couple of times, and America, especially America a lot.
And just how much have you taken inspiration from? Did you take much inspiration from Sean Schimmel and any of the other DBZ actors, or even any other really actor when you kind of brought life to Abridged Goku and Gohan?
Oh, absolutely. Basically, the whole idea is that when Team 4-Star started properly, I decided to make a mix of all the Gokus that I could think of. Mostly encouraged by Kaiser, who writes Goku's lines for the show. So whenever I'm being in a directing session with him on Skype, I'm actually hearing Goku's inspiration straight from the kiddie's mouth. So he's just he and I worked on the voice together, and we just created a mix of all the Gokus. Like there's the high pitch of Masako Nozawa, and hence why I'm called Masako. That's where I get it from. There's Sean Schimmel's goofiness, how he can be sometimes.
Yes.
There's some of the enunciations and pronunciations from Peter Kalimis' Goku, and a little bit from Kirby Morrow as well, the Canadian Goku, and the kind of the youthful tone of Ian Corlett. So all the Gokus that have been in English, and as well as the original Goku, I've always tried to take some element of them to provide something for everyone. And it's always nice to hear people like what I do for it. Yeah,
I'd say my particular favourite was when you became Super Saiyan. I imagine that's a fan favourite type of moment for you to become Super Saiyan.
Yeah, that was actually, I've been looking forward to that for about 4 years.
Yeah.
Ever since, I knew that we were hoping we would get, come on, Super Saiyan, come on, Super Saiyan. And then lo and behold, we got to episode 30, and that's where Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time. And I was begging and pleading for them to not make it stupid. Don't make Goku. Don't ruin this for me. I really want this. I really want this to happen. So thankfully, it was kept mostly it was kept intact.
I thought it was kept very well intact.
Yeah, and I did 25 takes of that scream because I wanted to get it right. I wanted to make sure that it was spot on. So,
looking forward, how excited are you for Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3?
Well, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's going to be cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because that is you, and that's coming up, and that's is that like what, your third or fourth Team 4-star greatest moments of DBZ? Is that the fourth moment or the third? Was Gohan's transformation?
It's one of the highest up there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Because, we're now getting to the point where Gohan really starts to become a real character, and this is his character arc.
Yeah.
How it's a rite of passage thing. So, that's going to be a good one.
And then we have the huge dip when he becomes the Great Saiyaman.
Yeah. But then there's Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
Yes.
That's going to be a doozy.
I imagine Lani is looking forward to Majin Vegeta.
Yeah, and then of course there's Fusion.
Of course, yeah. And then, are you always planning to make sure that you'll do every? I suppose like none of the films are canon, but every ordered film. So, are you going to be doing the Gogeta film as well?
Oh, eventually when we get there. I mean, but we're gonna. There's still the history of Trunks special to do.
Yes, I was gonna.
There's movie 7. There's the Android 13 movie. There's Broly. I mean, we don't know what we're going to do with Broly.
Well, if you need someone for Broly, I can do a very deep, scary voice, and he's one of my favorite characters. I love the OP'd Superman.
We don't know. We don't know what we do with Broly. We might just do something deep and gruff. We might just do a Vic Mignogna impersonation. We don't know really, because Broly is just dumb. He's just a dumb.
Do you not like Broly?
No, because he's no development. Because he's angry at Goku because he cried.
But I can't believe that actually was a reason. Like, just that's one of the worst reasons. I hate you because you made me stay awake for an extra couple hours.
Yeah, and he's just left mostly monosyllabic.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah, it's just
not monosyllabic because Kakarot's 3 syllables, but that's all he can say, pretty much.
I forgot. Only when he goes into legendary Super Saiyan form does he actually start talking.
Yeah, he can actually only just really start to talk then.
Oh God. And so, working through the process, how long does it take you guys? Like, I mean, is every episode kind of like on a schedule, or particular scenes might take you a bit longer because you're trying to get the humor out, or you're trying to keep the story? Is there a set time for each episode? Like, I know every fan asks this in droves, but is there a kind of? Have you worked it out at this stage? Is it a science?
Well, I think it's really just down to availability on everybody in terms of recording time, scripting time. Usually an episode takes about 40 to 60 hours to edit and about 3 nights to write. So we're looking at about a week, really, of solid work. And that doesn't include time to get to source the lines. I mean, if there aren't that many characters in it, there aren't that many actors in it, then that makes it easier. But if there are tons of actors and tons of extras, then you have to schedule all of them for a session.
And so, are any of the guys thinking that they are going to take it? I know some of the lads are professional voice actors now. That because of their Abridged series and because of DBZ Abridged. Have they thought about taking it even further, like, say, when Dragon Ball Z sadly does end? Do you think do the lads want to go further, like really break into the market?
Into voice acting? Well, yes. People are already starting to do that. I mean, Amfish is in tons of projects in his native Toronto. Yeah, he's really popular. So, and now that Kaiser and Lanny have moved to Texas, they've now been hosting their first ever anime. So they're starting to get cast and stuff and Taka is being cast in everything, lots of stuff in Vancouver, and and obviously I've kind of gone more on the editing front, and I'm not really focused on my voice acting properly. But we're all just striving to get professional work as we still make parodies. So there's no clear divide. Saying we're going to do this and then we will do this. It's just we will do this while we're doing this.
It's a great work ethic that a lot of people could learn from. And have you gotten many from the original cast, say, or like any of the casts that have been on the Dragon Ball Z? I know I was talking to Chuck Huber, who voiced Android 817, said that he'd worked with you guys in a panel and he loved you guys. Have you gotten many accolades?
We met Chuck at Yomicon 2013.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy.
He's brilliant.
Really decent chap. He's really, really eccentric and bubbly.
Yes.
We like him a lot. And
you've had Chris Sabat on?
Yeah. No, not really. We've not had him on really. Not him. We had this guy DJ Sexadillionaire. He was good. I mean, Chris Sabat, come on. But so we know we've hung out with Sabat a couple of times at conventions. Yeah, he's a really chill guy. Really cool. Sunny Straight's pretty nice too.
Yeah.
I've not met Schemmel yet.
He's coming I believe he's coming to SunnyCon.
That's right. I usually go to SunnyCon, so you never know.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. The Goku's first.
Well, I'm not gonna assume anything. So I'm not gonna go like, "Hi, Sean, it's me. I do your parody voice."
Oh, but I imagine you won't need to say a word because people will say, "Oh my God, Lawrence Simpson." And Sean Schimmel are in the same place.
Hey, come on, don't make me go Samuel Jackson at one of you. We're
I'm sorry,
not all
man.
the same. Not all Lawrences are the same.
I'm so sorry, man.
Joking.
Oh, God, no. And just like that, the interview went south.
Don't worry, I'm kidding, mate.
So, Lawrence, I mean, how has it been, really, getting all of this done? And, you're very young, and to have gotten all of this done so far, far in your life, how does it feel to just have this much of business and stuff behind you, to have this much kind of experience going forward?
Well, quite simply, really, it's just that we can't just stop to think because we've always got to constantly learn, and this is advice that people can just take into life in general, and just never stop learning. We never stop learning in life. We always learn something new every day, and end up the day with a better person, or just in terms of knowing stuff, and we never stop. So don't think that you can master something. You never do. You could learn something completely new that you never thought possible each day, and you always got to look into life like that. It's always an opportunity to discover something that could enlighten and enhance your life.
Well, Lawrence, that was a wonderful send-off. And I'm going to leave the interview at that because I'm really afraid I'm going to mess it up again and you're going to start chatting at me.
I'm joking.
I know, man. Don't worry.